Hey guys, good morning everybody. Today is Thursday, May 22nd. It is 6:23 right now. We got market opening up in about 7 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and set up this room real quick and we'll get started shortly with our analysis for today. It's got a few things here to update and we should be good to go. Looks good. Let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. All right, looks good. All right, guys, as people join in, I'm gonna go ahead and start marking up liquidity over here. Dropping down to the 30-minute. $15-minute, 10-minute, and back down to the 1 minute here. All right, guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Thursday, May 22nd. It is 6:27 right now. We got market opening up in about 3 minutes. I marked up liquidity over here. Looking at the current momentum, we have a possible buy signal closing right here. So if that closes, we may get a possible buy entry for the breakout today if anybody is looking to take that. Let me go over here to the market profile real quick. I'm just going to mark up some of these levels so we have an idea of like where price may likely sweep from. Um, all right, it's kind of messy here. It's kind of messy here, but looking at this so far, we do have, I mean, price is currently at the value low. We got a value high over here at 41,970. So I'm going to put that over there. So let's see, 41,970, which is basically this level of liquidity up there. We got the point of control at about, zoom in a little bit, 41,933. right, so we got a couple areas here for bounces to happen. And the value low is going to be right here around 41. Thing is, price is already rejecting off it, 41,880. And the lower volume value low is at 41,835. Okay, perfect. So we got everything pretty much marked up here so far, guys. Good morning, guys. It's if you guys are just joining, it's Thursday, May 22nd, 6:29 right now. Breakout for today is going to be a sell if anybody's looking to take it. Buy signal never close. For today, I believe we had some news. We had S&P, so we have S&P Global Services PMI at 645. We had jobless claims over here at 530, so I'll mark that up over here. Jobless claims right here at 530. Not a huge reaction in the market, but still a news nonetheless. So we got that right there. 6:45 is going to be news, and then news at 7 o'clock, existing home sales. So 6:45 and 7. All right, guys, market is now open. Not getting too much of a move here, but it is moving. All right, so charts are a little messy here. Not super, super messy, but a little messy nonetheless. Um, yeah, let's try to make some sense of what we got going on here in the market. We looks like we're kind of in a range right now, sort of. Not a clean range, but we're in like some sort of small range right here. So actually, I just mark up a small range here at the moment, just for now, just so we have an idea of like where price is currently bouncing from. If price breaks out of this range, of course, I'll take it off, but I just want to make sure that you guys understand that we're currently in a range right here. Not very much movement. Price pretty much came down. It swept this area of liquidity right here. So you can see there was a value low right here, this green line, and price pretty much swept this liquidity right below, right? I've been marking up these sweeps just so that you guys have an idea of like what to look for. The ATR is currently at 20 right now. So this sweep happened at this point, came down, shot back up, pushed up about 50 or so points right there. So, I mean, if you guys want to take these liquidity sweeps, I mean, feel free. I'm marking them up for you guys here. I mean, like I told, I forgot what I told you yesterday. I told someone in the chat, Talanji, he was asking, what are like the main, like what's like the TP stop loss that I would typically use? And I said it would be about like 30 points. And they do seem to work, like to some extent. Like for example, right here, another possible sweep, which is happening up here, not necessarily, let's see what the overall direction is. Overall direction here is actually pretty bearish. So we got the 4-hour time frame, 1-hour time frame, 30-minute time frame, all bearish. Price below the pivots, trend meter red, pivots angling to the downside. Lower time frames over here were bearish, but they're shifting up to a bullish trend. So it's a little bit of a mixed bias with regard to direction of price, trend, etc. So we'll keep looking here for possible opportunities for entry. I'm going to clean up this liquidity because that one's done with. I'm also going to clean up this liquidity because that one is done with. Um, Again, right here, a possible sweep happening at this upper area. So we had the other value low right here. We have the sessions right there and a possible sweep off this liquidity and its way back down right there. So another time here, if you wanted to take this liquidity, again, like I said, the 30-30 seems to work pretty well. So again, right there, there goes another liquidity sweep from the upside as it, kind of comes down a little bit here. It looks like those 30 points are probably going to get hit. There you go, 30 points right there. So liquidity sweeps on both sides right here. Liquidity sweep from this liquidity down here. And another liquidity sweep from this liquidity right there. Price pretty much pushed up. Generally you're looking for like the farthest area of liquidity that you can get in from. So again, right here, if price pushes up any higher, we have a point of control right here, right? If the point of control here gets hit, I'm looking for another possible liquidity sweep from there, right? So like basically another 30-point push from there. And then if price pushes up even higher, I'm expecting another liquidity sweep from right there, right? Or even higher, actually, maybe up to here. I probably wouldn't get in at this one, probably at this one up here. So again, if you guys are looking to take these sweeps, I'm marking them up for you guys. I'm contemplating if I want to add this as, a secondary strategy, because they seem to work very well, of course. I mean, I've been testing it for a while. It's good in these ranging markets. These ranging markets are perfect for these types of liquidity sweeps. Um, and this is kind of the market that we're in right now. I think this would be perfect for the summer markets. So I'm trying to incorporate, a summer type strategy here that we can possibly look at. So there's a possible MPSV2 setting up right here. There's a ton of red flags, guys, all over the place. You can see price here is still respecting the range that I drew up. I drew up this range here pre-market. So like basically price is respecting the range perfectly. It's failing to get outside of it. And we'll see. Nice. So it's laundry right there, caught 30 points as well. Nice work, Solange, on catching that sweep. So there's no MPS V2s here yet. I am marking up these liquidity sweeps. Again, liquidity sweeps are going to be at these levels of liquidity. So now that price kind of pushed up a little bit, we have a new level of liquidity right there. And we have another new level of liquidity right there. All right, we got price kind of going back and forth around this area. Again, price is trying to get out of this area of liquidity. Sorry, not this area of liquidity, this area of range. Again, we have a lot of levels of liquidity here that are starting to establish because of the slower market. Well, not really. The market's actually not really slow right now. If you look at the ATR, it's currently at 25. So the market's not really that slow. It's actually pretty volatile. It's just we're stuck in this range. So price is going back and forth within this area. There's no MPSV2 here. We had a sell signal, retracement, no confirmation. Let's see, Barack said open candle has so many buys till 33. It's funny to see how fast it has settled. Expect it to move more. Yeah, I know it's respecting the range right here, Barack. So like, yeah, price did get that bullish, that big push to the upside right there from that opening candle, but then it just flattened out. The good thing here is that it's respecting my zones. So it's respecting my zones and it's also respecting my liquidity zones. So the range zone here and then also the liquidity as well. Let's see if this here is adjusted a little bit. Okay, so we actually have an adjustment here. So 880 is where that one's fine. 835, that's fine too. The point of control adjusted though. So the point of control, I would actually still leave it right here down the middle. So 935, it's actually a little higher now. So yeah, the point of control is a little higher, 935. It's going to be lined up with that liquidity up there. So um, here, I'll take this liquidity off. It's been tested already. I'll take this liquidity off as well. So we got an area of point of control right here. What we might get is possible push to the upside. If it pushes up, it might sweep this area right here. Ideally, I would probably look for this area up here though, because these levels are so close to each other, right? I think this liquidity sweep area is going to be very tricky. I think I would probably wait until this area up here, actually. There's three areas of a possible sweep. There's going to be a possible sweep right here, possible sweep right here, or a possible sweep right here, because there's three levels of liquidity right here, right? I personally would wait for the farthest one up here. I mean, you might miss it, but if this thing pushes up any higher, this thing could easily continue climbing up. So these liquidity zones are pretty close by. 35-point difference right there, and a 25-point difference right there. So, I mean, we'll see. Price here is respecting the range, though. You guys can see here, price has not broken past the range. We have another possible MPSV2 for a buy right here, but we have a ton of red flags. We got red flags on the bottom, red flags on the top, ton of red flags here. Um, One other thing I wanted to tell you guys too is good news from Apex. So Apex, what happened was they were reviewing my account and they did see that there was some sort of error, so they took that loss off of my 300K account. So my 300K accounts are pretty much they're at flat right now. The loss from yesterday was only on the 50K accounts. So that's good news from Apex. They fixed the loss on that one day where the trade ended up closing early at 7 points. It's a small loss, but still they took it off. And then other than that, I also got my live funded account with Perdia. If you guys remember, I haven't traded my Perdia account since February. They're supposed to give me a live funded account, but I have these issues with NinjaTrader. So I'm trading a live funded account with Perdia right now. It's not a big account. They just basically moved over my payout to live funded. So I have like 3,000 of them in actual funds that I'm trading. So good news with that. Anyways, we have an MPSV2 setting up right here, guys. Still has not closed. So we have a buy signal right here. We have a retracement, and this is a possible confirmation candle. The only problem with this here is that we have a red flag, which is a sessions right here, right? The candle's also really big. So if you guys want to take this, I would say take it with caution. You know, this is going to be an at your risk trade. I'm not going to take it myself because it violates my rule here by not trading at the red flags. So not trading at this area right here because we do have that purple line right there, which is the Asian low. Possible sweep may happen right here. That's one thing you want to be careful for too. Price may push up, sweep, and come back down. If it doesn't sweep from there, it'll probably sweep from up here. And if it doesn't sweep from that, one of these levels are going to get swept. So just keep that in mind. This whole area right here is a sweep area. So definitely want to be careful if you're taking any buys here because you don't want to get caught in the sweep or a fake out or whatever you want to call it, right? You call it a liquidity sweep, liquidity grab, fake out. It's all the same thing. For me, typically, I used to call them fake outs. A lot of people use sweeps as the word. The reason why I call them fake outs is because price will push up, it'll fake out, pull back down, right? It's the same thing though. It's the same concept. Fake out, sweep, grab. I mean, everyone creates their own name for it. So whatever is easier for you guys. If you want to call it a fake out, call it a fake out. If you want to call it a sweep, a liquidity grab, whatever it is, they all mean the same thing. So we'll see what happens here, guys. The MPSV2 is currently running in profit, so it's running right now. 30 points looks like it's about to get hit soon. This is actually a perfect area. It's gonna, yeah, there you go. So full TP on that MPSV2 for you guys who caught it right there. And so now it's sweeping. So it's doing exactly what I just told you guys, right? Look out for the sweep. And that sweep right there is pushing through. So this is why I think this is a good strategy to add on because they go hand in hand with each other. If you're looking for sweeps, you can avoid MPSV2s that may like push up, like that may get caught at the sweep. The thing with this here is that the TP was before the sweep happened. So you can basically get hit, you can hit it twice. You hit it at the 30 points for the MPSV2, and then you also hit it right here at the sweep. So there goes the sweep right there. It's currently happening. Full TP on the sweep. Man, this analysis is perfect. So this is why I'm getting a little tempted to take these entries here, right? So the sweep played out perfect. My MPSV2 hit, and then the sweep happened. So like basically 4 back-to-back wins right here, guys. 2 sweeps, sweep down here, MPSV2, and then another sweep right there. So you can basically hit it both ends. And then the cool thing with the sweeps is that if we get an MPSV2 that pushes to a sweep or has to touch the sweep, then it's it's something that we can avoid. Like we can just avoid it because that's, we could consider these sweeps red flags if price has to touch them. So it'll be a full-on reversal. Talanji said, I thought the first candle was going to qualify. Last second jumped in, but it hit. Yeah, no, I agree. This one right here, right, Talanji? So this one looked like it was going to close above it. I thought this one here was going to close above it too. So Talanji actually got in at an earlier candle down here. So it hit his TP a lot earlier. So nice work right there, Talanji, on catching that. So these sweeps are going to help a lot, guys. I think during the summer, these sweeps are going to identify a lot of areas where we can trade at because we're going to be in a choppy market and a ranging market all summer. The good thing is that the volatility here is pretty nice. I'm kind of curious to trade on like on a more volatile asset like NQ for these sweeps because they seem to work pretty well, or even gold. I mean, either way, these sweeps are going to be helpful. So, all right, that sweep is pretty much done with that upper one. The next sweep that we'll possibly be looking for, so again, if price pushes up higher from this point, is possible sweep from this area up here. This is the value high and possible sweep there. We got news coming up right here, high impact news at 6:45. This is another reason why I was kind of careful about taking any entries because we do have high impact news coming up right here right now. It's going to be S&P Global Services PMI. This is inflation news. News just got released right there. And we're getting a pretty spiky candle here. Not a huge spike, but a spiky candle nonetheless. Price kind of pushed up a little bit, spiked up, then it spiked down. Now it's spiking back up. News was a little mixed right there. So I know my charts are looking a little messier than usual, but hopefully you guys see the method behind this madness right here. It's a lot of just a lot of things to look at in a sense. So that liquidity is pretty much done with now. I'm going to take that liquidity off. We got news right there. Stay focused on here. What's up, Kevin? Morning. Yeah, Barack said, yeah, the liquidity will help. Will really help, definitely. It's going to be useful because we can kind of identify areas to possibly be careful for. Like, for example, we might be looking for price to reach liquidity, but if our TP has to pass liquidity, then it's going to be something we might want to avoid, right? So again, right there, price pretty much bounced off this area. This is it's like a retest of the liquidity that I just deleted. I just took this liquidity off. See what happens up here. So again, we have basically four back-to-back wins over here so far, two liquidity sweeps, one MPSV2. MPSV2 is still what I'm focusing on, but the liquidity sweeps are going to help us understand what to focus on as well. I think the sweeps are perfect for sideways market. So I know some of you decided to incorporate the high-level momentum scalp. There's actually a high-level momentum scalp that came up right here at 637. Not sure if you caught that, Nikki. It was at a red flag, but it did hit. Price push down, push back up with the buy signal here. So if you took that for a 30-30, that right there looks like it would have hit as well. Yeah, Solange said he got 30 off the sweep. So again, another sweep right there that I just mentioned. So like I said, there's liquidity right there, right? Price came back up. Double sweep that area right there. All right. Another high right there. Pending low. All right, as we get closer to 7 o'clock, these numbers here are probably going to adjust a little bit. 880. We're not really going anywhere. Price has been within this range for a while now. 932. Doesn't really matter very much. I'll come back and adjust this. I'll keep looking at the market profile here to see if there's like, levels that we need to adjust, but it's not moving too much. Price, you can see here on the 30-minute time frame, price has pretty much been ranging within this area for a while. We have more high impact news coming up at 7 o'clock, guys. Something to look out for. Yeah, Nick said biggest ATR in a while. Yeah, we're up past 30 right now, guys. So the ATR is actually very high right now. There's volatility in the market, just not very much direction. We have a possible MPSV2 setting up right here. Problem with this is that we're going to be right at the red flags again down here. Right at the red flags. Nice, Brock. I just saw your markup right there. Yeah, it's good that it's working on there too. I'm kind of curious to see how my liquidity sweep analysis works on something more volatile like NQ. Maybe tomorrow I'll set up another chart where I'll just have NQ and I'll mark up, the areas of um of liquidity and stuff like that, just to kind of play around with it, have an idea. Because the thing is, NQ is way more volatile, so like it's easier to catch the sweeps on there. But I'll keep looking. Let's see, Brock's a good day. Good for the day, guys. Got a solid one. Back to one entry a day, as I've been donating a lot lately. Yeah, no, definitely Brock. Brock still watch for a little bit, drop out if FOMO starts peeping in. Yeah, and I agree with you. That's probably the best option. Silver, Steven's asking for silver. What ATR do you need? You need your ATR is based off whatever your TP stop loss is, Steven. So if you're going for 100 points on silver, that's what the ATR needs to be. If you're going for 30 points, that's what it needs to be. It's based off whatever your TP stop loss is, because that'll give you the average. So yeah, it doesn't matter what asset. If you're trading anything, really, it's going to be based off whatever your TP stop loss is for that specific asset and strategy that you're applying. All right, no MPS V2 here for a sell. We had the sell signal come up, retracement, no confirmation back down. We got price pushing back up right here. So there's gonna be a couple areas here where you can see a possible sweep. Again, I would look for the sweep at the higher points, like up here. I mean, technically, a sweep could happen at any of these levels here. So you can possibly see a sweep happen there, a sweep happen there, or a sweep happen there, right? There's a lot of opportunities here for sweeps. For me personally, I would go for the farthest one out here because I don't want to get caught in the farther push up, right? Because if you push up here, that's 20 points. You push up higher, that's 45 points. If I could get in maybe even right here, stop loss to be right there, it's still pretty high. So I'd rather wait for it to push up to the highest point for a 30-30 right there. All right, we have a possible MPSV2 setting up over here for a buy. We have a buy signal that's currently pending. Again, the problem here, guys, so like here's the thing that I was just talking about earlier. The thing is we may have an MPSV2 up here for a possible buy, but the problem with this, why does this thing come up right here? I don't know, it's a trading view. Trading view has been giving these like weird lines here. But anyways, like I was saying earlier, so this thing here would be tricky if you get an MPSV2 because if you try to ride a position to the upside right here, there could be a sweep in your opposite direction. So like for me personally, I would probably look out for like I'd probably be careful for any buys in this area because the last thing you want to do is get caught in a sweep, right? So I think this area right here would be kind of tricky because you don't want to get caught in the sweep here. Um, like you may get an MPSV2 and this MPSV2 may be a great entry. Like price may push up. The problem is a sweep may happen at some point here. So here we are getting closer to these areas of possible sweep. So like I said earlier, a possible sweep may happen right here. So what you'd look out for there is a possible, drop down from here about 30 points. Or if the sweep doesn't happen at this point, the sweep may happen up here. For me, like I said earlier, I would preferably take the higher sweep up here. I mean, not to say that this sweep wouldn't hit, but preferably I would take the higher sweep because I would rather have this, push up higher so I could have more room for my stop loss. But nonetheless, there's a sweep happening right here at this red line, which is the value high. So right here on the 30-minute time frame, see where price is rejecting off of? Sweeps on its way down to CP right there. So it did exactly that. So looking at this here, actually, um, and there you go, another 30 points right there. So I already hit TP, or barely. Yeah, so full TP right there. Yeah, it's Longy said powerful. Nick said, wow, these sweeps really mean something in this market. Exactly, yeah. So, like I told you guys before, I don't really gatekeep, guys. If I find something that works and I find something that's helpful and useful, I'm going to share with you guys. Like I could have easily sh not shared the strategy with you guys, but you can see here that, using my confluence and using my tools here, this is why it's important that I draw the liquidity every morning because we can basically prevent us from getting caught in these fake outs, right? So like I said earlier, this is why I'm going to be a little more careful with these MPS V2s because what you guys have been seeing lately is I get into an MPS V2 and what happens? It turns directly on us, right? There's an MPS V2 that comes up and it turns complete opposite way. So that's why I'm implementing this because this is going to prevent us from taking unnecessary losses. So for today, we've had so many liquidity sweeps. We've had one, two, three, four, five liquidity sweeps right here. And it's perfect for this type of market because we're in a ranging market. So this liquidity here got knocked out. That's pretty much done with. And I'll keep looking for next opportunity here. Yeah, I'm trying to take off this. There we go. Yeah, so price respected that liquidity. And you can see right there. So liquidity lined up exactly with the value high. So everything I tell you guys here and all the analysis that I give you, it's important, right? There's meaning behind it. I'm not just giving you guys some pointless analysis. I'm not drawing some random lines here. Every line that I put on the chart here, it means something, right? So just if you could pay attention to my analysis and use it to your advantage, great. I didn't get into these trades here, but I'm getting tempted to possibly get into these entries here for liquidity sweeps. Maybe I'll try one out tomorrow, or maybe I'll just try one out on like a few accounts, not all of them. But you guys can see here that they are working pretty well. So for those of you who are locking them in, I mean, great work, guys. I'm glad that you guys are making profit off my analysis. Um, I'm still kind of testing it out a little bit to see if it's something that I want to keep using here. But I mean, they do work pretty well. So again, we have price now ranging around this area. Another possible sweep may happen up here, right? Like I said earlier, there's 3 levels here for sweeps. Um, we do have news coming up right here at 7 o'clock. That's something you want to be careful for. It's new home sales or existing home sales. Um, it's forecasted to be positive, so forecasted to go for April. Again, look out for the possible sweep. up here. There's a possible MPSV2 that just came up again, guys. So this is an MPSV2 for a buy. It's a little tricky because it's at the sweep area, and we're too close to news right here. We have news in about 2 minutes, so I'm not really looking to not really looking to take this here. Like we're about 2 minutes to news, and it's high impact. Yeah, Andrew said, funny how that works. Then different times of the year, it'll just blast through liquidity, and it is a good thing that that is going through that area. Yeah, exactly, Andrew, 100%. So I'm starting to see the difference here. So I think the times when liquidity will blast right through is when there's no, because before I wasn't using market profile, right? So now that we have the market profile kind of marked up on here like this red line, so if we have liquidity, like say for example, we got liquidity that's like all marked up here. I know there's no liquidity up here, but let's just say like for example, there's a bunch of liquidity up here, right? So if I was to see price get up to this area up here, I would actually anticipate it to blast through this area. Like I would see it push through and then higher. Because in a situation like this, we don't have the value high, we don't have the point of control, we don't have like, we don't have that stuff on the chart. So I think that's the main difference between between looking at liquidity that's going to blast through or liquidity that's going to bounce off as a sweep. So yeah, but I agree. Sometimes like I would say like in the summer we're probably gonna see more bounces, but like in the fall and the spring or even like in like some winter months, we would see it just kind of blast through, right? Because that's the strategy. That's the original strategy that we would apply. I think now that we have, this extra analysis or confluence that I'm using now, it helps a lot more. Because I remember before, like liquidity was like our main thing, right? It would just blast right through. Um, but yeah, it's kind of tricky because, like you said, it kind of depends on the season. So, depending on the time of the year, if we're in the winter or summer season, we might start to use it more so for bounces versus spring and fall where we see the breakthroughs. And then on top of that, we can also use the confluence here. So here's the news candle, guys. This is the new home sales. You can see right there, prices bouncing directly off the value high. It's 7 o'clock right now, so at this point, it's time for me to make some adjustments to the um, market profile if necessary. It's not necessary right now. So 880, so 880 and 850, these kind of adjusted a little bit. 880, 880, 850 right there. Nine 970. So there's no adjustments that I need to make right now, at least. Um, we have another value low right here, which is at 42.15. See, the thing is we have all right, so what I'm looking for here, it looks like the MPSV2 might have hit already. Let me see. We had an MPSV2 price pushed up, retraced, confirmed right here. It was right next to news, so not exactly the entry I was looking to take here, but I mean, looking at it, it already hit, or it's about to hit right now. Seems like every entry today, yeah, it already hit. So it seems like every entry today has hit so far, guys. We had two MPSV2s come up. This was right at news, so obviously not one I'd take. Um, but also the sweeps. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sweeps. So 5 liquidity sweeps here, full TPs, and then 2 MPSV2s. This one right here, and then this one right here. You guys can possibly anticipate another sweep to happen around this area too, possibly. Christian said, I suppose this kind of strategy will be applied on a limit order. Yeah, exactly. Limit order will be placed at the liquidity price. So like for example, if you wanted to set and this is a little easier too because you can just have it pending. So like if you're looking for price to bounce off something like this right here, the pending order would just be waiting at like 41.95, and then you kind of wait for it to come down, come up, grab liquidity, fill your order, and then push down. I mean, I wouldn't take liquidity right here. I would take liquidity possibly at the actual value high. So like basically my liquidity sweeps, I would be looking for like the farthest area that I can enter from. Not the closest, but the farthest area, which would be up here. So yeah, it looks like that's where price is kind of pushing to. So like what I said earlier was, possibly look for price to push up, bounce off the market profile, value low, and that's gonna be lined up with this right here. The ETR is pretty high. It's just not very much. I mean, there's volatility. It's just not like super, super directional and whatnot. So there's nothing here to take right now. Looking for price to kind of push up a little bit. All right, there's not really much happening right here. You can see again, price is now consolidating around this upper area. A lot of entries today, guys. A lot of good entries today. We got price pushing up. So like what I'm looking for here is possible sweeps from like either the sessions or the actual value low. Ideally, like I said earlier, guys, ideally I would look for the farther area for the sweep to happen, like up here. The only problem is there's no liquidity up there, so there's not really an area for you to sweep, right? I mean, the only sweep area is like this one right here, but I wouldn't take this right here specifically because this isn't this is just the sessions, right? It's a sessions right there. It's not a value high, value low, etc. We would have to have some sort of liquidity closer to this area up here. So let me mark up some more areas of liquidity right here. Okay, so this would be perfect. If this here turns, ideally I would like this to turn from here. I like it to not actually touch the value high or value low. I like to retrace down kind of hard. So for me, I would like to see this retrace down kind of hard so that this establishes the high. And then once this establishes the high right there, I would look for it to retest it. So a high here establishes, comes down a bit, then it retests the area, grabs liquidity, and then comes down super sharp again for a double top. Basically, it's going to set up for a double top here. That's what I would like to see. So here we go. As price kind of comes down from this value low. Again, if you wanted to sweep this area, this would be perfectly fine. You could still sweep it from here. Like I said earlier, there's two areas for sweeps here. There's a sweep area right here off the sessions, and you could also sweep it from the value low right there. The only problem is there was no liquidity sitting up here. So if you were to take this here, this would just be a blind sweep. You'd sweep it off the value high, that green line right there. So now that we have this here, there's a new high point, right? So now if this comes down any lower, this setup could be pretty good. Basically a double top at this point. But this needs to come down a bit lower. It's not low enough because we need this high to get established, right? If price pushes back up, this high is going to get invalidated. So we want something like this here to happen. We want it to come down a bit lower. If it pushes up any higher, it's just going to create a new high. So that high there is still valid until it gets touched. If it gets touched, it's going to get invalidated and there's going to be a new high there. Okay, perfect. So I'm looking for something like this here. I know it's going to be a little tricky because we have the sessions right here, but if something like this does play through and it double tops right there, see how we have the liquidity right there? This can be a pretty nice sweep if it does come back up. So again, if you guys want to take this entry here, the pending order would happen somewhere around the area here. Let's see, it'd be at the 42.17. Let's see. All right, perfect. So that high has been established. Like I think this setup is if it does play through, it's going to play through. So this is maybe I'll try this entry out if it does come back up. So the pending order would be sitting at 42.17. Maybe I'll take this on just one account just to test out this, sweep here that may happen. It could happen at any point. It doesn't have to happen right now. So you see my markup, it's kind of playing out perfect. Said price is going to come down a little bit. If it comes back for a retest, that'd be a double top. The double top would be a liquidity sweep up there. So it'd be about 30 from there. So I'm going to put entry's going to be where is that? 42.17. Just gonna get the numbers here. You guys don't have to take this entry. I'm just marking this up so I already have an idea, when it comes time for entry. All right. So I'm just gonna leave this up here in case it does come back up. I'm not, waiting for it to happen, but if it does come up, it'll come up. Or we might get a sweep from this bottom end over here. So you got price coming down a little lower. If a sweep does happen here, I'll be looking for the sweep from down here. Let me see if these prices have adjusted. So 865, 865, 850. It's perfect. Point of control is at, I'm gonna leave the point of control down here, or I guess I could leave it around this area. 950 is too high. Leave it around 933. Value high here is going to be at 970. It's fine. All right, it's fine right there. So if this sweep happens right there, if this sweep happens down here, I mean, it's still a good area for sweep. All right, so I just have an idea. I just kind of, this is an idea that I'm putting out right here for these sweeps. Yeah, there's liquidity right here, but this isn't an area for sweep that I'd really be looking for because the thing is the point of control is still farther down here. So I'd look for a sweep either up there or I'd look for a sweep down here. Price would kind of have to push out of this area where it's currently sitting. Let's see, Steven. Um, I mean, so like there's a couple of things here, Steven. Like you literally traded at news. There's high impact news right here, which is telling you there's going to be some sort of manipulation in the market. I don't know. It's hard to explain stuff to you, Steven. I would try to explain to you. Uh, I mean, there could have been a lot of mistakes. Like the ATR was at 110. I told you to go closer to 100. So I mean, I don't know. It's hard to explain to you, Steven. It's like when I explain something to you, it's just there's there's always something else. It's like you get one thing and then you don't get one thing and then you just start confusing a lot of things there. So I'll just check gold for you real quick. So gold, you mentioned you were trying to get in at like you were on the 30-minute time frame, right? So 30-minute time frame, the ATR is at 117, so that's actually pretty high. Yeah, so see, Steven, you could have got in a way different time frame. The 20-minute time frame is even closer. Uh, 2 minutes. So you'd probably be like closer to like the. I mean, it just depends on like what time frame you want to trade on. But like I said earlier, you want to get as close to the. You could even bet on the 19-minute time frame. The 20-minute probably be closer. The 30-minute was way too far off, Steven. So like that's. I mean, that's probably the biggest problem you made there. Um, yeah. So like. See, if you traded over here on the 20-minute time frame, you'd still be in the position. It looks like it almost hit TP right there for 100 points. Like you say you're trying to go for 100 points there, but even I don't even know how you lost this trade, Steven, to begin with, because you said you're going for 100 points. The trade wouldn't have hit stop loss yet. You still would have been in the position. So I don't think you're really getting it, Steve. I'm trying to make it as simple as possible. Like you want to be as close to the 100 ATR as possible, and you went on the 30. You could have easily went down to the 20. Either way, the trade still wouldn't have lost. I don't know how you keep losing trades when like I'm showing you here specifically that there's no way that you could have lost this trade because the trade's still active. I mean, unless you went for something lower, because right here it's still running. So, I mean, just keep working at it, Steven. I don't know what else to tell you. The trade hasn't lost yet, so I don't know how you lost that trade there. If because you said your goal is 100 points, so if your goal is 100 points and you put the 100 points on your chart, it should still be running. Whether you got entered on the 30 or whether you entered on the 20, um, I just I don't know like what's going on with your trade there. Okay. Well, I mean, regardless of the fact if you were on the 20 or the 30, Steven, the trade still wouldn't have lost. So I don't know what happened there with you. Um, yeah, I mean, if you want to mark it up yourself, you can. You know, just go to gold and then you can mark it up there. It's still running. I mean, it got pretty close to TP, but it's still running right now. All right, back to YM, guys. So there's no entries here. Again, like I was saying earlier, the sweep that I'm looking for is possibly down here, or the other sweep that I'm looking for is possibly going to be up here for a double top. Price is kind of just sitting right here down the middle right now. There's no entries. There's no opportunities for entry at the moment. Price is kind of just sitting at this area of liquidity down here. Yeah, exactly. Solange said it lost its steam. So like the volatility here has kind of died down a little bit. The ATR earlier was closer to like 30. Now it's down to 25 and it's probably dropping even lower from there. Yeah, Sam City took this buy sweep, got out at 15, reached 20 where he wanted 25, but it's just not giving. Yeah, volatility just a little low right there, right? Because this is still a sweeps zone. Like if you wanted to sweep it, the only problem here is that there just wasn't any confluences there for me to want to take the sweep, right? Because like the sweep here, like I would want it to be lower. So if I was to take a sweep here, I probably would take it at like this point down here at the 20 mark. Because this is like my closest liquidity, or this is my farther liquidity or farthest liquidity from from the market profile. So like the point of control is up here. Um, yeah, and you can see over here, it's like adjusting around a little bit. So like the lower the better, of course. So if anybody's looking for a sweep, there's another possible opportunity for a sweep, which would be right here at the 1920. I'll mark this up over here as well. All right, and there's no need for me to mark it up at this point, but if you wanted to take this trade here, so there's a sweep happening right now as we speak. I guess I don't have to mark this up here. Yeah, there's a possible sweep happening right here. Price came down, sweeped at this area. It's pushing back up. Yeah, so the reason why I would have chosen this liquidity opposed to this one is because, like I said, it's farther down. Like for example, there is a value low right here, and I would take the sweep from down here, even if there was like liquidity sitting up here. But this sweep here isn't as clean as the others because you can see there was a lot of different levels around this point. Where the point of control is like way up here. The value high was like way up here. This one's a lot more cleaner. So I'm gonna take this off real quick just to show you guys. So this one right here identifies cleaner because we have the value low, which is right here. We have another value low, which is right here. And then we have a possible balance point right here. So like even if price was to come up or come down from this point, there's a lot of areas for price to bounce off of. So for example, if price comes down to this point right here, it can bounce directly off the liquidity, come back up. This could bounce directly off the opening price and come back up. Or it could even drop lower to this next level of liquidity and bounce up from there. So, so Talanji got into this one right here. He got scared and he jumped out at break even, which is fine. I mean, that's cool. Like I said earlier, Talanji, I don't like the liquidities that were up here. I don't think they're like as clean as this one down here. That's why I only have these two marked up. I got this one right here marked up if price comes back up for that double top, or I got price marked up down here just in case price comes down to this point here as well. There's an MPSV2 that was running right here, so price came up, retraced. The MPSV2 actually set up from this point right here. I wasn't really paying attention to it, but the MPSV2 just hit right there. Sell signal, retracement, confirmation right here. It was a small confirmation. Um, this kind of threw me off from yesterday. So if you guys remember yesterday, we kind of talked about this. We mentioned if the candles are moving kind of slow, then probably want to just skip it, right? Because if the candles are moving too slow, you might get in that choppiness that we happened to that we got caught in yesterday. So yesterday, market went in the direction that we pretty much predicted it to go, but it didn't actually, play through. So I think this is from. I didn't take a screenshot of yesterday's trades, but basically this is what we got caught in, but price ended up spiking the opposite way. All right, let me see if there's new areas of liquidity. So there's no new levels of liquidity yet. Again, the area that I'm looking for is going to be down here. I'll possibly test out this right here for a possible sweep, 41,851. See if I can maybe put it in on like one account.
Orders.
See if it shows up on mine. Okay. So I could probably just take this here on one account.
Submitted.
I got my pending limit order right there. Let's see if the sweep here happens. So price is currently at the value low right now. I don't know if there's any news right now. Break news. So it looks like it might be sweeping a little early. Yeah, it's sweeping at the value low right there. But I'm still waiting for it to come down lower at the actual liquidity point. So liquidity is 41,850. Okay. Yeah, so there's another level of value low down there. Looks like it might be sweeping off this one, but I was looking for this one down here. So we'll test out the sweep. The cool thing with it is just that it's a pending order, so we'll see how this here if it comes any lower, it needs to come lower though. So what I'm looking for here is possible sweep of this liquidity, but also like rejection off the sessions, and then also the value low down here, and then also opening price. So if it comes down any lower, it might bounce off like opening price down here. Or the sweep might just happen right there where it's currently at. So you can see right there, it's sweeping off the this higher value low. But like I said, I want to go for the farthest one, like whatever the lowest point is from there. Steven said I'm also in the trade. I'm not in the trade yet, Steven. It's a pending order. So I'm waiting for it to come down to this area right here. Hasn't filled yet. You can see my limit order is just waiting. So it is sweeping off that value low right there. Let's see. Here's the 1 minute chart. Looks like it might have already swept that area. Yeah, so it looks like the sweep here already kind of started to push through. Yeah, order hasn't gotten filled yet. Let's see. I don't think it's going to come back down. I have to just cancel this one. Or if it does come back down, it's probably going to come back down a little later. Let's see. So price is coming back down to this area here. Yeah, so like what I was saying earlier, guys, and like what Nick mentioned, he said sweep played out, nice, but didn't hit the area. Yeah, because the area could have been, it looks like it filled right there now. So let's see. Here's the actual sweep that I was looking for. Let's see here as price pushes back up. So price came down, it knocked out that area right there that I was looking for the sweep to happen. And we'll see here if it pushes back up from where it's currently at. So it might push down lower and hit the opening price. Like I was saying earlier here, there's areas for bounce here. So price may bounce off the sessions there, or it may bounce off the opening price right there, possibly. Because there's still areas for bounce here. I mean, the liquidity was right there though. So price is pushing up now. It's up about 13 points. I'll keep watching it because the ATR is currently at 25, so the sweep might have to be a little tighter. This point right here. This is gonna be the 25 mark. Full TP right there, guys. Great, great, great fucking sweep. That was a fucking nice sweep. So it did exactly what I was in. I went for the 30 there. Target failed. I'm out. There we go. So full TP right there, guys. I mean, this is powerful, guys, like I said. So, like I said earlier, the sweep could have happened right here, or the sweep could have happened right here. My sweep down here is the safer sweep because it lined up with that beautiful trade right there. And the good thing is that I mean there's like no drawdown. You guys saw the drawdown right there, like didn't even come down, maybe like a point, maybe less than a point. But this thing played out perfect. Let me check my accounts over here. Actually, this thing took it on all my accounts. So I thought I only took it on one, but I just realized that I activated everything because of the, so I'm back in profit for this week. Oof. What a what a nice turn of events right there. So I'll try to implement these liquidity sweeps as we continue on. I mean, the liquidity sweeps hit pretty much every day this or every time this day. So we had about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 liquidity sweeps, two MPS V2s or three MPS V2s that came up. That was a lot of setups right there. What you said made you swear. Yeah. Maybe sweat too, yeah. Also, because it's the first time trying it out, so it also did make me sweat a little bit because I wasn't super sure about it. Steven is back as well. So Steven hit it twice, the earlier sweep and the secondary sweep. And looks like a lot of you guys here took it with me. So let me take a screenshot of this. So first account, the first trade on my live funded account with Purdy as well. So that was a pretty good trade, guys. I'll keep looking for possible MPS V2s here, but that was a pretty solid. I don't know what am I going to call this, guys? Liquidity sweep. I'll just call it liquidity. We don't need to make it super complicated. We'll just call it liquidity. We'll call it liquidity V2 because the original liquidity is when it breaks through. Liquidity V2 will be the sweep. I thought I only took it on one account, but I forgot that I turned on my copier for every account because I added the Apex accounts and I also added the Purdy account. So I actually made a lot of profit on this trade right here. Let me see. Yeah, for once my Ninja Trader didn't have an issue. The limit orders are nice because when the limit orders fill, they get you exactly where price is, so I don't have to make adjustments to my TP stop loss. They're pretty much good as is. So anyways, here are my profits for the week. You'll see some red on there because of the the issues from last week, or no, from Monday, and then also the issues from yesterday. So I had a couple trades that closed at partial, or they closed out for a small loss. All right, so here are my profits so far for the week and for the day. So you can see that these are the accounts that took the trade yesterday. You can see my 300K accounts, they didn't take the trade. So there's just wins for these accounts here. So I locked in a lot of profit here, guys. These are my 50K accounts up here. And then here are my 300K accounts. And then here are my Tradeify accounts. And then this is my live funded with Perdia. It's a new one. And then I have another one down here. So you can see my profits are kind of all over the place. I mean, it's fine. It's just, this is what happened this week. I had a bunch of issues, technical issues with my Ninja Trader. But yeah, here are my profits so far with for the day so far. So it's been pretty sick. It's been pretty sick with these here. But we'll keep looking for opportunities. Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, Nick mentioned, Sam has been killing at the sweeps. I kind of have Sam to thank for these sweeps because I wasn't really looking at these sweeps for a while. I just started looking at the sweeps because Sam would always look at them. I'm like, okay, this could be a good confluence for our own entries for the MPS V2s. So, thanks to Sam here, I'll keep looking at these liquidity sweeps because I've seen Sam kill it at these sweeps, and I'm like, I know how to trade that way, so I might as well implement it as well. Like the thing is, guys, I've been trading for a long time, so liquidity sweeps have been around forever. It's just I never really looked deep into them. I looked at liquidity breakouts, but not really into liquidity sweeps. Um, Now that I've been using market profile, the sweeps are actually a lot easier to identify because when the sweeps line up with my liquidity, like it did right here, they play out pretty perfect. So, here, let's see. Let me scroll up real quick. Yeah, Christian said it was tempted to take it, but it's still a new strategy, so I was hesitant. Yeah, no, and I agree with you too, Christian. Like for me, I wasn't really looking to take any of these sweeps here or liquidity V2s, but because I saw them hit like 7 times here, I was like, man, my analysis is perfect. It's hitting every single time. So I figured, okay, this was a good enough sweep for me to maybe take a chance on. Um, because the this liquidity right here, so this blue line, it pretty much lined up with a bunch of confluences here. So this is why it's good to get in and out because look at price now, it's coming down further. There's no more possible sweeps down here. But yeah, this sweep over here was just, it lined up perfectly with what I was looking for. Because we had the liquidity right here, we had the value low right here, we had the value low for volume profile right here, we had the opening price right here. So what I was looking at when I was taking this entry or looking to take this entry was that I was looking for any opportunities for me to screw up. If I screwed up on my entry, it would still come down to open, possibly bounce off that. So I had the little safety net there just in case. But it's all good. I'll keep looking at this and I'll keep marking them up, guys. So if you want to keep looking at these sweeps or these V2s, um, I haven't really came up with a name. Maybe I'll call it a sweep. Maybe I'll call it a V2. I'll just call it, I'll leave it at V2 for now and then we'll just kind of change it up a little later because I don't want to mix up the names. I was going to call it sweep, but the sweep is, I don't want people to confuse it with the other sweep. So yeah, like Talanji said, only works in no, it works in all types of markets, Talanji, but you got to be careful with so like see for example right here, Talanji, I had these that are pretty spread out, right? I had the sweep up here and I had the sweep down here, right? I would have them kind of spread out a little farther off because because like so with this type of market, it's very volatile, right? I would have them spread out because you want to have the bounces that are having at the far ends of the range. In the summer, though, the market is ranging a little bit tighter, right? So the market's ranging a little bit tighter, you'll have more sweeps within the middle area. So it works better in a ranging market. So I wouldn't say just summer, but it works better in a ranging market. So if you look over here, see the range that we had from earlier? It's still stuck within the range, right? So it works best in a ranging market versus a directional market. Because in a directional market, it'll blast right through. So like you got the concept correct. I know you mentioned summer because that's usually a ranging market. I wouldn't necessarily say just summer because I think this summer is going to be a little different, right? Because Trump is president this year. We have the tariff news, we have the Ukraine news, we have the Israel news, there's a lot of stuff going on around the world. So I wouldn't necessarily say this summer is going to be a typical summer. Like we'll have days and weeks where markets can range like normal summer, but a lot of weeks they're going to be very volatile like this. Like this is more of a hybrid. It's a big range, but there is volatility. So I wouldn't be trading the sweeps in the middle. I'm just trading the sweeps that are from the outside, the far ends of the range. Exactly. Yeah, Talonji said, okay, that makes sense. Always why you wanted to only take the furthest sweep instead of the ones that could get blasted through and connect. Yeah, 100%. So you're understanding it completely. So there was a possible opportunities for sweeps in the middle, but obviously I didn't take those. Sam took the ones in the middle for smaller TPs, like for like 20 points or so, or 15 points, and those work. But you're just taking a little bit more risk when you're taking sweeps around those points. Sam said, "Thanks, all good guys. Do your back testing, please. Don't kill me later." Yeah, exactly. That's why like I'm taking like the more safer sweeps versus the the riskier ones in between. Let's see. Wes said, "Hey, Sean, I missed the start of the session. Are you moving away from MPS v2?" No. So we're still sticking to MPS v2, but we're implementing the sweeps for confluences. And then if their sweeps are super far out, or if there's really good confluences around the areas west, we'll be taking them as sweeps. So like, for example, this entry right here, this was a sweep. This was the first sweep I actually took. There was a bunch of sweeps that came up over here. Um, So since you missed the beginning, basically what I'm using the sweeps for is I'm looking for a price to turn. Because if you've seen before for the MPSV2, sometimes I'll get into an MPSV2. Like say, for example, there's an MPSV2 right here, right? And then it completely reverses on me, right? A lot of times when that happens, it's because there's a sweep around that area. So what I'm doing here is I'm using two of these analysis kind of together. So if I have an MPSV2, I'm going to be looking to make sure there's no sweeps there because I don't want to get caught in the straight on reversal. But I'm not switching strategies. I'm still sticking to MPSV2, but the sweeps are going to be like an addition. It's going to be like an added strategy. Um, if that makes sense. But the MPSV2 is not going away. I think the MPSV2 is still a great strategy. There's two entries that came up for MPSV2 today. It was this one, I believe, or not this one. Was it this one? No, it was this one right here. So we had the MPSV2 that came up right here, and then we had another MPSV2 right here. Those are the only two MPSV2s that came up, and then there's these sweeps that happen across the chart here. Let's see. John said, "Is there news today? Market seems volatile." So there was news earlier this morning, like at 7 o'clock and at 6:45. We have PMI news, which was Chicago PMI, I believe. Or let me check real quick. Or sorry, S&P Global Services PMI. So we had S&P Global Services PMI, which was inflation news. That was high impact news at 6:45. And then at 7 o'clock, we had existing home sales, also high impact news. And then at 5:30, we had jobless claims. So it's a heavy news day today compared to the previous days. That's why the volatility here is a lot higher than what we're used to. Yeah, another sweep right there that Christian and Nick mentioned. So like I said earlier, the sweep could have happened down here. Like the sweep didn't have to happen where I got in from. It's just this was like a pretty far sweep. I chose this one up here because we had the value low around this area. This sweep over here didn't really have confluences, but this was another sweep down here as well. So nice catching that right there, Christian and Nick. I'll keep identifying possible areas. So this one's already done with. I'll take that off. I'm gonna go and clean this up a little bit now. So I'm gonna take off this liquidity. I'm gonna take off this, or I'll leave that liquidity for now, or we'll adjust it actually. So let's adjust it. Okay, so like looking at this right here, um, we have another possible sweep area right here and another possible sweep area right here. The only problem with these here is that there's no confluences, right? The value low is going to be right here down the middle with the opening price. So the confluences are going to be down here in the middle. That's why I wouldn't consider these sweeps. I would consider these actual normal liquidity where price may break through it, push up higher. So this is actually a good example right here, Talanji. Like back to what you were asking earlier, distinguishing liquidity from liquidity sweeps. So I'll just call that a sweep. I guess the sweep does sound better. I mean, it wouldn't really matter because the people who are understanding what we're talking about are people in here anyway. So you guys should understand the difference between a sweep and regular liquidity, or you should be able to understand my sweep versus other people's sweeps because I'm looking for the confluences there with the market profile. So the market profile here hasn't adjusted, right? We're at 850. My market profile right here is at 850, or sorry, my value low. This value low is at 865. That's still there. This point of control is at 933. Still there. Okay, so nothing here has changed at all. Yeah, Wes said sweep the leg strat. That's pretty much what it is. It's sweeping the leg. It's coming down, sweeping, and coming right back up. Yeah, but I'll keep looking at these sweeps, guys. I mean, the sweeps are going to be super helpful for us, not just for the sweep strategy, but it's going to be helpful for us to identify and avoid bad trades. I think that's going to be the biggest thing. So we'll keep watching here. But yeah, guys, we're using all these tools and all these strategies and all these analysis. We're using it all together. There's not going to be like it's not just going to be one or the other. It's going to be all of these put together. So like for example, if we have there's an MPSV2 setting up right here, guys. Possible MPSV2, but it's going to be right at the red flag session. If there was a liquidity grab area here, a liquidity sweep area, we would kind of look at that too. So like if our TP was to push up and we have to sweep around that area, I would probably avoid it or I would take it for a smaller target. So let's see what Steven posts here. Nice, Steven. So this is Steven's gold trade from earlier. He actually won on that. Nice work, Steven. Yeah, but again, like we talked about earlier too, Steven, with the ATR, just try to get your ATR as close to 100 as possible. Right. Like I still don't understand like why your trade lost earlier because it didn't hit the stop loss, but I mean it might be your broker because we talked about this before. Your broker pricing is like a little bit off. So that's probably why you got kicked out of that earlier position on gold. Steven said use some profits as tokens for a video game. Right. All right, so we got nothing here right now, guys. The MPS V2 actually never came up here for a buy. We had a buy signal, retracement, no confirmation right here on the green candle. This green candle would have to close above this area right here. That didn't happen, so there's no opportunity there for entry. Um, we have a possible sell signal here that is currently pending. So if it comes down lower, there's going to be possible opportunity there for entry. Liquidity is going to be okay. So it looks like price is going into a range now. So I'm marking up the liquidity here that's untested. It looks like price is now starting to range around this area. All right, so we're getting a range right here, guys. I mean, there's no surprise here. It's getting close to 8 o'clock. I just realized it's 7:50 right now, so we are getting close to 8 o'clock. This is normal for price to kind of die down a bit and consolidate as we get closer to 8. So you can see over here a lot of the entries happen closer to open. So like the first 30 minutes of market right here, about like 7 entries which came up. I'll just mark this up real quick. The liquidity up here never came up to grab, so or look sweep, so it's fine. If you guys are looking for price to come back up to that point, maybe later today, you can possibly look for a sweep around this area. I'll just put this here as during today's what's today? 5/22/25. This week's actually been really good, guys. Aside from all my technical issues that I've been having with NinjaTrader, this week's actually been really good. So we've been following the market from like Monday up until today. There's been at least like 5 to 7 entries which have been hitting pretty much every day this week. Monday, I think we had like 5 or 6 entries. Tuesday, we had about 5 or 6 entries. Yesterday, we had about 5 entries, and today we had about there's a lot here because I'm identifying the sweeps now. So we have like 11 opportunities for entry here. It's a lot. Given that today was a more volatile day as well, I mean, this is probably the most volatility that the highest ATR we've had in a long time, or in a while, I guess, in a couple of weeks. It's typically been closer to 20, if not lower. The ATR has been pretty solid. I just got connection lost on my freaking NinjaTrader, so that might be my cue to wrap it up for the day. Yeah, Solange said close his app, gonna take his profits and run. Super good day. Yeah, no, you've been killing it, Solange. Great work today. Great work this whole week. I mean, you've been taking these sweeps as I've been calling them out, and they've been hitting for you pretty much every time. So I'm glad we took this sweep with you today. It pretty much played out perfect. If you guys are just getting in, this is the entry I took for today. It was a liquidity sweep. Glenn wants, I can't really explain it right now, Glenn, because I took off all the liquidities already. So I would say rewatch the live session and try to get on the session early tomorrow, Glenn, because it's going to be hard for me to explain it to you because I don't have liquidity marked up anymore. When the liquidity gets swept or it gets wiped out, I close them and I create new ones. So we have liquidity kind of sitting right here. There's not going to be any sweeps around this area, so I can't really give you a good analysis on it or an explanation. So I would say either rewatch the live, like if you can, I would rewatch today's live session, guys. If you guys haven't watched today's live session, or if you came in late, I think today's a really good session to watch because we identified a lot of sweeps here, and I gave a lot of examples, and we marked them up as they came up. So, if you guys have free time today, and if you guys want to learn more about this sweep that we've been identifying, I'd say rewatch this session. I'll probably mark. Let me see. I'll put it in the notes. Or I'll put it in the title actually. No, I'm not gonna put it in the title. I'll put it in the notes here, in the description, so that we know this is the video where we covered a lot of the sweeps. Um, yeah, the thing with the sweeps, guys, is that I can only really explain it during live market conditions. I can't really like I mean, I can rewind time and do some explanation that way, but for the most part, this specific strategy, it's better during live market conditions because you can see the sweeps happen live. So. Yeah, Glenn, I'll explain it again tomorrow. I just can't really explain it today because all these sweeps happen already, and the liquidity that we had marked up at those points, they're all deleted. So just rewatch today's live session, and then tomorrow try to get on early or like on time so that you can understand the analysis behind it. Because I'll mark up all the liquidity before market opens up. You can see over here, liquidity is pretty much I've taken them off already, but before we had a bunch of levels of liquidity here that I marked up pre-market. But like a basic gist of like what we're doing is basically I'm taking liquidity sweeps that happen around where I have these other confluences, basically where the market profile is sitting. So if I have a value low around this area or a value high or a point of control, that's where I'm going to be looking for sweeps to happen. All right, guys, it's 7:54 right now. It's about to be 8 o'clock. You guys can see here, price is respecting the range. I'm not really expecting too much to happen here. If you guys have any more questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. Otherwise, there's not really much else here to look at. There's no MPS V2 that came up so far. So we had a buy signal here. Price never came up and confirmed above the momentum. So there's no MPS V2 here for a buy. There's a possible sell signal here that's pending. If the sell signal closes, this could be possible opportunity for MPS V2 for a sell. We just don't really have this here right now. The sweeps that we were talking about earlier, guys, this works best in a ranging market. So. It works best in a ranging market. It also works even better in a volatile ranging market. Today was very volatile. Like I said earlier, we have a sweep that's kind of waiting up here. If it ever comes back to this point to come back down, it'll be a double top as well. So you have two confluences right there. There's no sweeps down here, guys. Like I said earlier, there's just no levels down here. I mean, technically there's levels, but these are like old levels. I don't really mess with these older ones too much. Yeah, because the next level, the value high is going to be way down here. So price would have to slump pretty far down for you to have a confluence there for market profile. But all right, guys, I think that's it for the day. Here's my profits for the day. Here, I'll see if I can upload my Trader Sync. Go here real quick. My Trader Sync might be a little screwed up because I had all those technical issues. Like I think on some days here, some of the trades are probably not even gonna show up because Apex fixed the trades on Monday. Here, I'll see. I'll try to sync it real quick. If it works, then great. If it doesn't, then I don't have to like fix it. It's always a hassle like getting in touch with the Trader Sync. Well, it's not always a hassle, but it is a hassle getting in touch with their customer service because then they have to look into it and they have to fix it. And sometimes I'm sure if you guys use Trader Sync, sometimes you'll see the trades double upload or it'll miss certain trades. So I'm gonna try to upload my or yeah, update my Trader Sync right now because I don't really want to add these up. There's gonna be a lot of work for me to do the math for these. But you guys can see I'm in profit for the week, obviously. These are my profits for the day on the 50K account. This is for the week, still currently in a loss because of the mishap that happened earlier this week. And these are my 300K accounts right here down below. These are my Tradeify accounts. This is my oh, so if you guys are just joining in, if you guys remember, I traded with Perdia before. It took a while for me to get the live funded account. It was kind of my fault. I haven't messaged them to get an update on that. So they gave me the live funded account, and this is the first profits on the live funded account. So they basically gave me a 3,000 actual money account, and I made profit on that right there. So it's crazy. I haven't traded my Purdy account for since February. So in February, they moved me to a live funded account. I never followed up with them, so that's kind of my bad. I messaged them yesterday. I was like, "Yo, what's up with the account?" And they're like, "Oh, here's your account." So the cool thing with the live funded account is I can take payouts whenever. So like for example, like right now, I made like 400 bucks or 500 on that account. I can just withdraw right now if I wanted to. I don't have to put a payout. Well, I do have to put a payout request, but um, there's no payout period. I can just request payout whenever. And I also don't have a daily drawdown. And my drawdown is static. So basically I trade until my account goes to zero. So that's pretty solid. All right, right now we don't have any other opportunities here at the moment, guys. My Trader Sync is still loading up. Let me see if the market profile here is updated. It hasn't. It's still where it was before. So there's no need to make any adjustments here. This will probably adjust around 8 o'clock. So around 8 o'clock, you'll probably see these levels kind of adjust a little bit. I mean, if you look over here on the bigger picture, price is really in just a really big range, guys. So look over here on the 1 hour time frame. You can see price has been ranging pretty much all day today. There's a little push to the downside and a recovery back up, but for the most part, it's been going sideways. Back and forth around this area. Here's a 1 minute market profile. It's starting to establish a more precise range. So earlier, price was kind of like all over the place, right? But if you look over here closely, um, the range is really between this area right here, down the middle. So you can see over here, fake out, fake out, fake outs down here. Price is pushing back up. So like this sweep over here is still, it could still happen if anybody's looking for that. And my Apex accounts take forever to upload to TraderSync because I have so many accounts with them. All right. Hopefully after my Apex accounts get loaded up. Or I guess we can just do the math here. So for the day so far, I'm up, let's see, 750 times 20. That's 15,000. And then 1950 times 20. 1650 times 5. So I actually made a ton of profit today, guys. So this is a total. I mean, this isn't going to be for the week, but this is the total for the day. 15 plus 39 plus 8250 plus 450 plus 1500. So 64,200 across all the accounts, but I also have to factor in the losses for the week, which is not a crazy amount, but um, for the day, this is how much profit I locked in. That's crazy, right? I have a lot of accounts though. So um, yeah, I'm not supposed to tell you guys, but like, or I'm not supposed to tell anybody, but you guys remember what I'm doing with these 50K accounts. I'm kind of trying to get by with staying under the radar. So they didn't say anything the about the when I had them look into my accounts. So we'll see. I'm hoping they don't. But yeah, big push to the upside right there. All right, my trader sync is finally loading up. We just got the Apex orders in. I'm getting in the Tradeify orders. This shouldn't take that long. But big push right here, guys, from this bottom end right here. Price pushed up about almost 100 points. There's a possible MPSV2 setting up there. So we got a buy signal right here, retracement. If a green candle comes up, possible MPSV2. It's weird. I was uploading my new Purdy account, but it was pulling orders from like 2024. This account's brand new. Okay, looks like we're good. Let me check my calendar real quick. Today is the today's Thursday. Okay. Right. So the math is actually right. Okay. I think this is correct. So let me just copy this over real quick. All right. So here's my calendar for Trader Sync, guys. So you guys can see yesterday. So yesterday I took a loss. This is the trade. I couldn't trade out of my 300K Apex account. So you can see it's like half the loss basically. So yesterday I lost about 19,795. The trade over here on Tuesday that got taken off because Apex removed the trade that was taken. And then this here is my profits for today. So the number was right. My math was exactly where it should have been. I made 64,200 for the day. So for this week so far, I'm currently at 44,405. For the month so far, I'm up 70,635. Not as much as like previous months, but it's been pretty choppy. Had some losses this month. My overview for this year so far, and let's just do year to date because the data only pulls so much. Okay, so you guys can see this is currently where I'm at right now. Currently at 435,000. Gross net 344,000. Here's my chart basically for this year so far. So this is from January 1st up until May 22nd. You can see I'm making a pretty nice recovery here. We had price kind of we had a really nice start to the year. We had a slump right here when the tariff news came out on April 4th, and then price we made it right back right after. And then price we've been kind of in this consolidation range with regard to net profits for the month so far. So you can see over here I took a couple losses here at the beginning of May, had a couple wins, had a couple more losses, and then now I'm climbing my way back up. So this is to show you guys the overall realistic trading year, right? You're not always going to have great months. You're not always going to have bad months. As long as you can stay consistent and you can stick to your game plan, you can continue climbing the ladder higher and higher. So yeah, these are my profits for the year so far. Here are my profits for the day, 64,200. My profits for the week, 44,405. And then my profits for the month so far, 70,635. So I guess that's about it, guys. I mean, if there's anything else that you guys would like to see or anything that you guys would like me to cover, I mean, feel free to ask. I don't see any questions here. It's after 8 o'clock, so I think it's about time to wrap this up. So, all right, guys, great trading day. Lots of trades that came up, 11 opportunities that came up today. I only took one of them, but great day overall. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to hit me up on Discord. Otherwise, we'll be back here tomorrow, same place, same time, as we close out this trading week for Friday. So, all right, guys, if there's any questions, hit me up. Again, if you guys want to understand this liquidity sweep that we've been covering, I do highly recommend to review this live trading session. Once I get off, the replay will be ready. So you guys can go ahead and take a look at that. And then if not, I'll go ahead and review a lot of the stuff tomorrow during the next live session. So, all right, guys, I'll catch you guys then.